Hello everybody and welcome to another lesson. I am Coach Callie and today I'll be going over the most common mistakes I see players make in their Rocket League gameplay. This is the result of countless hours of playing ranked 3v3 this season and getting absolutely destroyed by teams that simply have better teamwork and coordination. Hopefully, by the end of this, you'll have what it takes to lose fewer matches and be a better team player, and you'll be able to identify common mistakes and gaps in gameplay and become a better team player. But before we begin gaming, we of course need to warm up. So we're going to do the classic and make sure all of the stuff is off your desk, your monitor's at the proper height, you have water nearby, hydrate or dehydrate people, and then warm up your body by doing the stretch demonstrated by our awesome coach, Jana. Doing this will prepare you for your games in a much better way than just sitting down to play.
Hey everyone, it's Jana Labari, physical therapist with MedStar Health. In this video, I'm going to show you how to do a couple warm-up exercises to help get the blood flowing in the hands and fingers and to help improve your coordination and mobility. For the finger tap warm-up, start with your palm open. Lightly tap each finger to the thumb, starting with the index finger, and keep repeating on each finger for about 20 to 30 seconds. You can start slowly and keep increasing the speed as you go. This one is the finger extension warm-up. Start with your palms on a flat surface, and then starting with the thumb, extend each finger up and then back down to the table. Keep doing this on all of your fingers for about 20 to 30 seconds. Start slow and then keep increasing the speed as you go. That's it for today's video. I hope you learned something new and it was helpful to you. Let me know in the comments and thank you for watching.
For exercise 1, we are going to watch the scenario play out in game. Watch how my teammates push out of the net and double commit on the ball. This is one of the principal mistakes that players make in the low to mid ranks of the game. To be honest, I even see it all the way up in GC and Supersonic Legend. Double committing is born from a lack of trust, situational awareness, or both. To combat this, we want to try super hard to realize where we are in rotation. If we're first, we're going to challenge the ball and immediately swing wide to go back to cover for the third man who should be pushing up. If you're second, lurk around about halfway between net and the ball and try to stay relevant, meaning be ready to follow up on your teammate's touch or go back to catch a wild clear. If you're third, be ready to catch a ball that lands on your side of the field from a bad challenge, then push up to second only when you see your first teammate rotating back. Rotations are called rotations for a reason. Cars should be cycling in and out of the play, keeping one player back, one player mid, one player forward at all times. The only time you should have two players on the ball is really never. If you're in the voice communications channel or comms with your teammates through either in-game voice chat or another VoIP application like Discord or TeamSpeak, you can use that to communicate your positions and intentions throughout the game. I tend to avoid using the chat that's built into the game, as most people that are gaming, I find that they're gaming with the intent of playing alone and not really listening to others. Even when I would try to give them effective callouts, they would kind of just ignore them or intentionally do the opposite of what I was asking them to do, which was obviously counterintuitive. For exercise 2, we are going to be covering narrow ball side rotations. If your team is rotating correctly, the most efficient path from your current position to the ball should be a straight line. This means that your cars should essentially be forming a caterpillar, or a train of cars with plenty of separation between them, but more or less on the same line or trajectory. The easiest way to catch a ball or make good contact with it is to hit it with your nose, so it stands to reason that the best way to approach the ball is from a wide angle, with your nose angled towards either the bounce of the ball or the direction the ball is heading. If we rotate back in a straight line from where we came, we'll be unprepared to make an effective touch. Instead, rotate on a wide angle, often through mid or around the opposing side of the field. This will allow you to point your car where it needs to go, as well as clear the path of rotation for your teammates to avoid any unnecessary tilting team moves. For exercise 3, there's only one thing worse than going for a challenge and missing, and that is actually not going for the challenge at all. Games follow a very specific pace, tempo, and pattern of play, and if someone disrupts this by not going for the ball when it's their turn, it can not only give the opposing team time with the ball and possession of the ball, but it can also confuse your team and leave them wondering where they should be positioned, if you are going for the ball, etc. In this gameplay example, we're going to see a player looking like they're about to make a challenge, but instead of challenging, he turns back into rotation. His opponent then ditches the ball, leading to an easy possession change for our player's teammate. This is called a fake challenge, and it's a quite productive way to challenge. It allows you and your team to maintain position on the ball, keep rotation, and hopefully force a possession change by simply driving on the ground. But wait, Coach Callie, you said don't ever not go for the ball. Always go for the ball. Yes, that is true. That is absolutely true. Always go for the ball. However, the difference between a real challenge and a fake challenge is that in a fake challenge, you are driving towards the ball with the intention of hitting it. However, at the very last second, right before you would be about to make that final touch or make that final committing action, such as flipping or jumping or boosting, you're going to turn off the ball. So Most players will not have the reaction time to realize that you're faking, and they will just ditch the ball. They will give you possession of the ball simply because you drove at them at a threatening angle. Crazy, right? So that's the same thing as going for the ball, but it's not the same thing as not going for the ball. Make sure to use fake challenges sparingly though, as after a few fake challenges, your team will become very easy to read. Also make sure that your team knows that you're faking, or else it can cause the dreaded double commit. Now that we've reviewed some common mistakes, it's time to work on those mistakes and implement better gameplay into our scrimmages. It'll be a bit different from what you may have been used to, but instead of doing anything specific, I want you to play rank and observe how many players you see making the mistakes mentioned above. Casual doesn't really work too well for this, since a lot of players don't really take it as seriously as they probably should. After you watch a few games and take notes on the mistakes that others make, you are ready for your own gameplay. Practice observing yourself as you play and finding out where you fit into rotation. Remember, if there's a problem, assume it's you and fix it. Ranked games, and even casual games, can be incredibly frustrating, and despite what everybody says, sometimes yes, your teammates do actually hold you back. These mistakes were simply compiled from a list of about 10 that I see players making every single day. Simply fixing these 3 things can lead to a massive jump in your gameplay quality, even if you're not that mechanically gifted. Remember first and foremost to be a team player, but don't be afraid to use that new voice chat feature to tell your team what you need from them every once in a while. If someone doesn't want to listen, use that game as a chance to improve some element of your gameplay. It's also a great chance to learn to adapt to your teammates. I actually frequently get games where the ball in every car is moving at supersonic speeds, and it becomes impossible to try and keep up in any kind of rotational structure with how fast everybody is moving and how fast players are on the ball at any given time. In these games, I tend to start playing back more passively, and let my teammate back pass to me for more powerful clears and prevent us from being scored on unnecessarily. Other games, everyone is playing super cleanly, and even if my team loses, I try to keep the rotational structure, pattern of challenges, and mechanics consistent across my next games because I know that they work to keep games even in the past. Once again, I've been Coach Kelly. Take care and game on.